Hi, today we're going to be talking about the best dating apps for bisexuals. This video is brought to you by my latest best-selling MMF bisexual romance, Beauty and Two Beasts. I will talk more about it at the end of the video. And also, quick reminder, if you haven't yet voted for the Bisexual Representation Awards for the your favorite bisexual TV character, you can do it by going to the link right here. The link is also in the description below. Now let's get to it. What are the best dating apps for bisexuals? So what I did to determine this, I took 6 popular apps and I gave them a score between 0 to 3 in 4 different categories. After it, I will give you an overall score for them. I'll tell you which one I would actually use if I were to use a dating app. So which apps am I talking about? Well, the first one is OkCupid, which many of you are familiar with. It's a free app, mostly free. You have to pay for certain searches and also remove your footprint from someone else's profile. Next is Match.com, which is the biggest dating app, dating app in the world. So most people know that. Bi-Cupid. Bi-Cupid is a dating app and a website for bisexuals who are looking to date other bisexuals. Tinder is the most popular swipe left, swipe right hookup dating app in the world. Bumble is like Tinder. One thing, if you are only looking for someone of the opposite gender, you only the female can write to you first. However, note if you say that you're interested in both male and female, then anyone can write to anyone first. And what kind of makes it stand out, just past the fact that, if you're only looking for one gender, the female has to write first, is the fact that because of the structure of it, the women who tend to be on that dating app tend to be of higher, let's say, success in terms of, what they do, how much money they make and all that stuff. Simply because I think the structure allows them to feel more comfortable. They're not going to be creeped on such an app. And then the final one is Badoo. Badoo is a very popular dating app. And their specialty is you get a lot of awards for being the most communicative, for being the most picky, which is the word that I got. And also there's a lot of opportunities to like pictures and to write people and stuff like that. And it tends to be the opposite of Bumble. So as Bumble tends to attract people, lawyers and CEOs and vice presidents of Fortune 500 companies and stuff like that, well, Badoo would be for more the common person, sort of just like the average person sort of thing. So what did I think of these apps? Well, I'll tell you in the form of my ratings in the various categories. And which categories are they? The first category is, can you search for other bisexuals on these apps? OkCupid, I give it a solid 3-4 because, as many of you know, you can search for not only can you search for bisexuals, but you can search for people who are mostly straight, you can search for people who are mostly gay, pansexuals, whatever identification that you want to search for, you can search for that on OkCupid. 3 out of 3, perfect score. Match.com, I gave them a 1. Why did I give them a 1 out of 3? Because you can type the word bisexual into the keyword search function, and people will come up. I search for women who identify as bisexual and put bisexual in there. I think about 5 or 6 people came up, but about 2 of those people, it came up because they had written in their profile, not interested in dating bisexuals. So did I find bisexuals? Yeah, I found 3 in the United States. Great. So they get a point because you can search. It's just, So Bi-Cupid, you can search for bisexuals on the site because it's nothing but bisexuals. But can you go and break down and say, well, I'm this type of bisexual, so I'm looking for this type of bisexual. Can I find them? No, you can't. So they get 2 out of 3 on that. Still pretty good. Tinder, Bumble, Badoo, 0. Why? Because you just can't search. Next category is number of bisexuals. OkCupid, again, 3 out of 3. Why? Because there are just a ton of people who identify as bisexual on there. Match.com, again, a 1. Why? Because there are, in the United States, about 3 women who identify as bisexual in their description section. Bi-Cupid, number of bisexuals, I give them a 2 out of 3. They're all bisexuals on there. The problem is, though, it's not quite yet reached a point where there's probably a quarter of the amount of people on Bi-Cupid, bisexuals on Bi-Cupid, as there are bisexuals on OkCupid. So yes, number of bisexuals, they're all bisexuals, but it's just There are definitely people, but just not a ton of them. Tinder, Bumble, Badoo. Well, you can't identify as bisexual on any of those sites, so they all get a 0. Encouragement. How encouraging are these in terms of your dating process as a bisexual, which is very important as a bisexual, especially bisexual male. OkCupid. Out of 3, I give them a 1. I give OkCupid a 1, and there's a reason for that, because I've used OkCupid more than any other dating site, and I gotta say, OkCupid is more responsible for my low dating app self-esteem than any other dating site. Like, I think part of the problem is the fact that I know there's so many bisexual women out there and available. It's just that over the past few years I've been using it, so few bisexual women have written me back. So few. And basically I'm only interested in bisexual women. So yeah, there was times when I reached out to non-bisexual women. And even then I didn't get a lot of get responses back, whether I had bisexual in my description or not. Like, I just don't get a lot of responses there. So since the fact that it's broken my spirit many times, I give them a 1 out of 3. Match.com, I give a 3 out of 3. Now there's a surprise I did not see coming. Match.com, just so you know, I use the exact same profile across all of them. I use the same pictures, same descriptions, everything. But Match.com, I got so much like picture likes, profile likes, messages that I was just shocked. I couldn't understand it. And I think maybe the difference between Match.com and OkCupid has to do with the algorithms. I think the reason why I got so much attention on Match is because they constantly put you in front, at least they put me in front of people. And if your profile is in front of people in terms of pictures and all that stuff, it's more opportunities for people to respond to you. So when OkCupid, I get no response from OkCupid, I would think like a half or 3/4 of that is the fact that they just don't promote you. You can pay to be promoted for like a minute or 5 minutes or some crazy thing like that. But generally speaking, no one's going to pick you if they don't know you exist. So Match.com got a 3 out of 3. BiCupid, you know what? I gave them a 1 out of 3 in terms of encouragement, because my rule when all this was, if it was a swipe left, swipe right thing, I did. However, I didn't write to other people, so I had to sit back and wait for people to respond. I did get one person writing to me on BiCupid. I maybe even got 2, but they were both people I wasn't particularly interested in. So it wasn't terrible, but I would hope that if there was a website or a dating app specifically for bisexuals, that I would get more than the few responses I did get, especially considering Match.com. So they get a 1 out of 3. Tinder, bagel, 0. I like to say I did this experiment for 1 month's time, and I did a lot of swiping lefts and swiping rights, and not a single match in a month. In a month. Best-selling author, blah, 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 great pictures, blah, blah, blah. 0. So Tinder, screw you. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying screw you, Tinder. They get a 0 out of 3. Bumble, you know what? 3 out of 3. Because whereas I only got like 2 matches on Bumble during that month period, they were 2 matches of people I was legitimately interested in. And in Badoo, I got like the pickiest person award. But yet still on Bumble, I was able to match with people. Did we go out on dates and stuff like that? No, because, well, I was thinking they had to write to me first and they didn't write me. But in terms of encouragement, hey, 3 out of 3. Badoo, I give them a 2 out of 3, not because there weren't a lot of responses, because there were definitely a lot of people who liked my pictures and all that stuff. It was great. It's just that in terms of encouragement of finding someone that I might actually be interested in, 2 out of 3. Still good, just 2 out of 3. Value in terms of like what you would have to spend versus what you get. For OkCupid, you know what? You get a lot for not a huge amount, so you can pay to search very specifically, which might have helped my chances, even though I have paid for them in the past and had 0 luck. I still say it's not that expensive and you get a lot for your money, so I give them 2 out of 3. Match.com is the most expensive dating app out there. It's like $40 or $35 or something along those lines. So it's the most expensive. However, if I were to use any of these, I would use Match.com because, yeah, it's expensive, but man, I really believe if I paid for it, I would find someone to date on Match.com. BiCupid. BiCupid is mostly free. You can pay to have certain searches, but it's mostly free. So it's mostly free. I got 2 responses. I give them a score of 2 out of 3 for that. I would hope that that you'd get more, but 2 out of 3 isn't bad for BiCupid. So yeah. Tinder, value, it's a free app. I give it a 1. I don't give it a 0 because I don't have to pay anything, but it's just a waste of time. It's an investment in time as well. So value, I give them 1 point, Tinder. Bumble, granted, I didn't go on any dates, but I did get 2 matches. So I figure if I kept on using it, I would continue to get matches and eventually I would end up going out with people. So I give them a 2 out of 3. And Badoo, I couldn't even figure out a way to pay for stuff on that. On Bumble, at least they said, well, hey, extend out the time that someone could talk to you by paying this amount. Well, that's a value. But on Badoo, I didn't even see how I could pay on it. And yet I got all these responses and all that stuff. So in terms of value, they got a 3 out of 3. So what does that mean, the overall score? Well, that means that in 6th place, Tinder has 1 point. You suck, Tinder. You heard me say that. You suck. On 4th place, we have tied for Badoo and Bumble. And I think the choice between, it's just who you're looking for would be your choice between Bumble and Badoo. Tied for 2nd place would be, maybe slightly lower, BiCupid. And then on top of that, Match.com. And again, I say, if I were to spend money on a dating site or dating app, I would spend money for Match.com because it just had the most potential in there. But according to this scale, they're not the overall winner. The overall winner here is OkCupid. Now, like I said, there's no dating site that's done more to destroy my dating app self-esteem than OkCupid. But I just want to point out that it's not necessarily the company that's the problem, because 2 years ago, I put together the first ever large-scale dating event for bisexuals in the United States of America. And I was looking for a partner to do this with. I reached out to OkCupid, and they quickly wrote me back saying they will support me, and they made this like a partnership between OkCupid and myself and the people I was partnering with. It was a really fantastic thing. They did everything they could to help. Kudos, man, kudos. So they deserve to win this category for all the things they do. But I think there might be some sort of problem with their algorithms where they're just not putting people in front of other people enough. They rely too much on their rating system, all the questions and stuff. And it's just, hey, what can I say? They're the overall winners. They got the most amount of points, but they have destroyed my dating app self-esteem. I hope this is helpful. I hope this inspires you to go out and put yourself out there. And I hope this also shows you that you could admit to being bisexual on dating apps and still find people to date, especially Match.com, especially. And certainly if you're a bisexual female, OkCupid is a tremendous option for you as well, as is BiCupid. And hell, even Bumble ended up being pretty good for me. So there you go. I hope that was helpful. Now, let's talk about my most recent best-selling bisexual romance, Beauty and Two Beasts. I'm very proud of it. I'll read the description to let you know what this is about. It is, experience the world's most enchanting and timeless love story, retold with a romantic MMF twist. And that's male-female twist. Deep in the dark forest is an enchanted castle. In it lives a beast. With curling horns and jagged fangs, there is no one who could ever love such a creature. Unfortunately, love is the only thing that could break the castle's curse. The beast isn't all bad, however. Seeing a man being chased by wolves, the beast gives him refuge in his castle. But when the man steals an enchanted rose as he leaves, the enraged beast locks him up. Will the beast allow the man's beautiful daughter to take his place? Could she be the one to break the curse? And will the beast's heartbreaking secret change the way this classic tale is told? With steaming encounters, a gorgeous prince who visits Belle at night, and unexpected twists and turns, Beauty and Two Beasts is an tantalizing retelling of a classic fairy tale that you will never forget. And I promise you, it is a very, very interesting tale. It is not your classic Beauty and the Beast. It's definitely different. And the reviews have been stellar on Amazon. Fairy tales back in the day were written to kind of to teach children like lessons about life and what to do and stuff. So what I decided to do with this is I took Beauty and the Beast and I thought, what would be great like moral lesson for the people who would read this would be, people who are interested in MMF stories. So I completely like tore the story apart and then put it back together in a very sexy, very cool, very entertaining, very fulfilling way for you if you happen to be a bisexual looking to read a romance. So I hope you check it out. If you would like to support the channel, you can check out this book. And also you can check out my t-shirts on Teespring. And don't forget to vote for your favorite bisexual TV character at the Bisexual Representation Awards. You can go to the link here. And also there's a link to it in the description below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I do many videos on bisexual topic, but I don't do them frequently. So if you want to know when a new video comes out, you have to click on the bell and that will tell YouTube to let you know when a new video is coming out. Till the next video, stay cooler, my bisexual friend. Stay cooler and check out Beauty and Two Beasts. I promise you it will be a very interesting, sexy, and fun read. Bye.